Alright, so in this video, I want to see how much I can do with one single sample. So I'm going to find one and see if I can flip it into 3 different genres. So the aim is to show you guys a few different sampling techniques and see if I can create 3 different vibes. And then at the end, hopefully I can piece it all together. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so first of all, we're going to need to find a sample. So to do that, I'm going to be using Tracklib. And if you haven't heard of them by now, they're a massive online record store for sampling. They have over like 100,000 tracks for you to flip. And the best thing about it is, most of the tracks are actually original compositions from previous decades. And they make it really easy for you to clear the samples if you ever want to release the tracks officially. So usually when I'm trying to find something to flip, I go to tracks and then I can narrow things down by the genre, the key, the track type, the BPM, or the release year. But recently I've been going through some of the collections and then even their new arrivals. So every Friday they release a batch of new tracks for you to check out. But I also like to check out their monthly digs too. So for example, if I go to December, we can have a listen to some of these. Check you later. Check you later. See, like this is from 1965. So this is one from the 70s. So you can really get that authentic vintage feeling. This stuff's always so crazy. This is one I downloaded earlier. This one sounds sick. So Tracklib's best known for being the only site where you can clear actual old songs, but they do have new stuff as well. Like this is from 2023. I love sampling old records, but I really like the vibe of this one, so I'm gonna go with this one today. And yeah, by downloading that, it only cost me 1 credit. And if you want 15 credits and 30 days completely free, just click the link in the description because that's double the standard amount. But yeah, let's get into cooking up. Okay, so I brought the sample into FL, and Tracklib actually gives me the BPM and the key, which is perfect. Okay, so when it comes to flipping samples, there's a few different ways I approach it. I either just chop things in the playlist and take parts that I like and rearrange it. I'll try and speed it up, pitch it, maybe reverse it. And then I also use things like Fruity Slicer to chop it for me, or I'll manually take cuts and drag them into something like FPC so then I can use the drum pads to flip the sample. Other than that, you can use different creative effects like halftime, effectrix, looperator, just anything that can manipulate the sample. But yeah, usually I'll just start by playing the sample and just having a listen to what I could actually flip. So that part sounds good. Those as well. So like the vocals, definitely need the vocals in there. One thing I also like to do is just keep it tidy. So because I took a little bit from the beginning, some dead space, I'm just going to consolidate it. Let's try to reverse this too. Could also just send it to an empty track, add something like halftime. It's sounding a bit too low, so we'll pitch it up. Let's double the speed too, so we're just going to stretch it. So from like here, we could try something. So yeah, obviously I've got halftime off there, and then we could add kickstart just to create some bounce. I just don't like that first vocal hit. I don't feel like it's needed. So I'm going to consolidate this again. But first of all, I'm just going to make sure it's set to generic bleeding so the cuts are smooth. And now we can go up here, extract stems from sample. We'll just take everything except for the vocals. So now we've got 3 different layers. Crazy. So for the drill section, of course, we're going to go to the deep suite. Then we'll grab something like this one. And I want the hats in this one to be kind of fast and jumpy. So I'm just adding some rolls like this. Yeah, maybe that's better there. Could get some lower ones in as well. Just where there's space. So I'm thinking this drill section could be the fast section, the jumpy one, and then when it gets to maybe something like a boom bap section, it could slow down a bit. So yeah, just to make it even more bouncy, I'm just going to add some delay to that counter snare. Just going to take some low end out of the sample though. And we'll try a couple different snares too. But with that snare, we could pitch it up. And then I'm hearing a heavier counter snare, something like this. And this will just help with the bounce a bit more. We'll just pitch that down 1. Right, on that sample though, I'm just going to add a bit of reverb. Alright, next up, we're going to grab the Rider 808 from our Grease kit. We'll do this pattern a bit different to usual. Needs to come down an octave though. I think the 808 is just a bit too low, you know, so I'm going to pitch everything up one. Like this. Switch that last one. I think this melody is missing a bit of high end, so I'm just going to render this again. And then with this one, I'm just going to set it to stretch and pitch it up an octave. And then we'll add some portal. We'll go to my Perlina portal bank. We'll add the crystal pulse preset. And then I'm just going to add an EQ to take out some of the harsh highs. And then last thing to give it more width is just some pancake, but we'll add that before the reverb. Okay, we'll just grab an open hat as well. Yeah, I think that. We'll just add something like this for some atmosphere. And then, yeah, maybe just a drum fill like this. So I just want to change up the 808s a little bit. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, we'll get that rolling here. Maybe just cut the count snare. Alright, I think the drill section sounded crazy. A lot of energy in this one. So now I need to switch it up and figure out a different genre. So yeah, let's open Serato sample, similar to Fruity Slicer. We'll just send that to the same mixer, but we'll have kickstart off in this part. For the boom bap section, we'll go to my vault bundle, open the source boom bap kit, grab a snare. We'll go to my timeless kit and just get a realistic kick. I like this one. And then with boom bap drums, you just don't want everything perfectly on grid. So I'm going to move this one, bring the velocity down, move this one too, like this. Could add a ghost note here though. Okay, let's grab a hat too, like this one. And for boom bap, we're just trying to pick realistic sounds. And for this, we could just fill each 4-step. Then we could just adjust some. Then we'll grab a crash too. Then I'm thinking we could just add a ride underneath. And then just on the hat and the snare, I'm just going to add a bit of plate reverb. We'll just change this to plate, bring the mix down, just so they sound like they're in a similar environment to the crashes. Then we'll grab an open hat, and I think just that one. And then we'll just mute the hi-hat where the open hat is. Alright, and for the bass in this part, I actually do like the bass in the sample, but I want to bring it out a bit more. I want to emphasize it, and then I might just add like a sub 808 underneath it. So in this one, we're going to add the frequency splitter. Then we'll sidechain it to an empty track. We'll link these to that and then mute them here. Because now we've got the highs and the mids in this insert and the bass in this one. So now we could add something like Decapitator. Then just boost it with an EQ. We'll just take this deep 808. But then in the EQ in the sample, we'll actually take the sub out to save room for it. Then we're just going to add another kickstart, but this is just going to be set to a half note. But we could just make a subtle change in this one. I think we'll just have this repeat twice. And yeah, with the boom bap section, I think we could leave it like that. Alright, I'm thinking for this one, we could take a different part of the sample. So even this part here. Repeat that. And then have this section. And then it can just loop back around. Just grab the spins 808. I'm just changing the hats as well. I've just used a MIDI for this one. Just wanted a more consistent bounce like this. we'll just add a quick snare roll at the end. And then yeah, maybe we could have this as a little break. But in this section, I'm actually going to swap it for this Rings 808. And then just repeat that. Then just get rid of the snare roll in that second one. Alright man, so I think that's going to be it for the trap section, and there's a lot going on in this beat. Got the drill section, boom bap, and then trap. So we just need a little transition in between each one. Okay, so let's bring everything out. So I'm thinking we could just take the actual sample and then just do something for the intro. I'm just going to add this tape stop plugin. Just going to cut it right at the drop. Yeah, there we go. Let's pitch it up one more too. Yeah, that's the one. And then yeah, we'll just bring the sample back in, have the gunshots overlap. And then we could try and automate the pitch. And then maybe we just automate the tempo as well. Yeah, there we go. That could work, you know. Grab the sample back in. And then yeah, we'll add that same tape stop effect. I just wanted some sort of transition between each genre. Doesn't mean I'm going to do that for a beat I'm sending to artists or anything. I'm just experimenting with this one, man. So let's just have a listen from the beginning. Drill section sounds crazy. Energy's mad. So that's the first part. And then moving into the boom bap section. I love this boom bap section, you know. Let me know in the comments which section you prefer as well, if it was its own beat. So yeah, this whole thing could be a beat by itself. And if you guys want to flip this sample, I'll leave a link to it in the description. Let's hear the trap section too. And yeah, if you want to hear more drill videos, just click up here. Or if you want more boom bap, then click up here.